A very good morning to all of you. In the last video, I have discussed the Galileo's experiment, and in that, we come across to know that Newton concluded the idea suggested by Galileo, and that was formulated in the laws by Newton. Here in this video, I am going to discuss Newton's first law of motion. According to the statement of Newton's first law of motion, every body remains in its state of rest or uniform motion in a straight line unless it is compelled by some external force. It means a body remains unaccelerated if and only if the resultant force on it is zero. In such a case, the body is said to be in equilibrium. From the statement of Newton's first law of motion, we come across to know one new term, that is inertia. Here I have defined the inertia for you and the concept inbuilt in the inertia. The tendency of the body to oppose the change in its state of rest or uniform motion in a straight line when some external unbalanced force applied on it, it is called inertia. Newton's first law of motion is also called law of inertia. Inertia follows from the first law of motion that in absence of any external force, a body continues to be in its state of rest or in uniform motion along a straight line. In other words, the body cannot change by itself its position of rest or of uniform motion. The factors on which the inertia of a body depend, that is mass of the body. We know that it is difficult to move a heavier body than the lighter one. Similarly, it is difficult to stop a moving heavier body than a lighter body moving with the same velocity. Thus, we conclude that mass of the body is the measure of inertia. More the mass, more the inertia. Now it's time to discuss the different types of inertia. There are three different types of inertia. The first one, inertia of rest, then inertia of motion, and then inertia of direction. One by one, I am going to discuss different types of inertia. Here I have inertia of rest first. The tendency of the body to oppose the change in its state of rest when some external unbalanced force is applied on it, it is called inertia of rest. For example, a person sitting in a bus falls backward when the bus suddenly starts. The reason is that lower part of his body begins to move along with the bus, but the upper part of his body tends to remain at rest due to inertia of rest. For another example, we can say if a coin is placed on a thick card over the mouth of a tumbler, the card is given a sudden jerk, the coin will drop into the tumbler. The reason is that the motion of the card is very quick and it cannot be imparted to the coin due to the inertia of rest. We can say about the different examples of inertia also, inertia of rest. If we beat a carpet with a stick to remove the dust particle, when the carpet is beaten, it is suddenly set into the motion. The dust particles tends to remain at rest due to the inertia of rest and hence fall off. For another example, when a branch of tree is shaken, the fruits get separated from the tree due to inertia of rest. Moving ahead, here we have the definition for inertia of motion. For the inertia of motion, the tendency of the body to oppose its state of motion when some unbalanced force are applied on it, it is called inertia of motion. For example, a man carelessly getting down a moving bus falls forward. The reason being that his feet comes to rest suddenly, whereas the upper part of his body remains the forward motion. Another example, an athlete runs a certain distance before taking a leap, so that the inertia of motion of his body at the time of leaping may help him in his muscular effort. For another example, if we remove snow or mud from our shoes by striking them against the wall, this is a common practice. On striking the wall, the feet comes to rest, whereas the snow or the mud, which is still in the motion, separates from the shoes. Moving ahead, let us consider the definition for inertia of direction. The tendency of a body to oppose any change in its direction of motion is called inertia of direction. For example, if a car takes a turn along a curved track, the passenger experiences a force acting away from the center of the curved track. This is the result of tendency of the passenger to continue moving along a straight path. Another example, tie a stone to one end of a string and holding other end of the string in hand, rotate the stone in a horizontal circle. If during rotation the string breaks at certain stage, the stone is found to fly off tangentially at that point of the circle. Here it is shown in the figure also. For another set of example, I can explain you. The water drops sticking to the cycle tires are found to fly off tangentially. The spark produces during sharpening of knife or razor against a grinding wheel leaves the rim of the wheel tangentially. From all this discussion, now we are in position to define force from the first law of motion. According to the first law of motion, if there is no force, there is no change in the state of rest or of uniform motion. In other words, if a force is applied, it may change the state of rest or of uniform motion. If the force is not sufficient, it may not produce a change but only try to do so. Hence, the force is that which changes or tries to change the state of rest or of uniform motion of a body in a straight line. Thank you for today.